130 miles from Boise, Idaho, hides a tiny town that we would consider one of the best kept secrets in America. With only 116 residents, this community is tucked into one of the most picturesque mountain ranges we've ever seen. It's an outdoor wonderland full of lakes, hot springs, wildlife, and adventures galore. Where is this underrated city? Well, we're not giving it away that easily, but stay tuned and you just may have found your next weekend getaway. It's time to let go and get going. Look how clear this water is.
Doing that like so something really cool you can do at this marina is you can get a shuttle about 10 minutes down the lake that's gonna shave off miles, and when you've got littles, that's a big deal.
You can take a trail over here too, and the trail starts back at the lodge and comes all the way across the top of this ridge right here.
So they drop you off at the base of the Sawtooth Mountains. And this is just stunning. Anytime you have mountains and water mixed, it's just like the perfect combination. It's awesome.
Huckleberries on the backside. I like it. Thank you. Oh, that's very polite, buddy. Here goes our ride. Hopefully it comes back. I don't think we're alone over here. Definitely bears over here. This is what Marissa wanted to do.
You can either hike up here and go to the bench lakes here this way, or you can hike from the lodge all the way down.
But round trip, you're talking, it says 3. That's the first lake. You want to go to the second one.
It's all about the same distance to get here.
Probably 7 miles round trip to do this. And then the one we're doing is a little easier. So one day, babe, one day. We love our kids. Not quite there yet.
I had read you have to do, it's a free permit, but you have to do a permit, I guess, so they can keep track, but.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, even for day hikes.
You stepped on it. Wait, I don't need that. Checkpoint. That's good. That's what it's Beaver Dam.
I believe you're right. Check that out.
If beavers build a lodge, sometimes they could turn a river into a lake.
Oh, yeah?
This was a checkpoint if you don't fly. Do you want to play checkpoint or do you want to play stunt ladder? Okay, fine. I don't want to play that game.
I love they have games. I don't even know what these games are. Apparently they've been making them up as they play together. So
That's a win.
that's a huge win.
We're on top of the mountain.
Close. Not really. Redfish Lake. Is that where we got dropped off, I think, down there? Okay.
It doesn't look like.
Quarter mile. Halfway there. Waterfall. 3/8 of a mile. If you guys feel ambitious here.
Yeah.
No hang gliders.
So adventurous around here.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Is it true?
Probably. There's all kinds of stuff in here, I bet. That is beautiful. Look at that.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Wow. Got this place all to ourselves,
I
too.
know, right?
Isn't it awesome?
So a lot of people describe this as the lesser known Tetons because you still get the sharp peaks here with the Sawtooth Mountains that you get with the Tetons.
Like stuff like this with the lily pads, like man, it just feels a lot like it,
But honestly more majestic because you don't have the crowds, and it's beautiful in its own way as well, and has its own history and its own culture, and just Stanley's all right, huh? You like Stanley? We're on it.
Huckleberry ice cream.
don't even talk about that out here. We are a long ways from Huckleberry ice cream.
Am I the only one who hasn't tried it?
You haven't tried Huckleberry ice cream yet? Maybe today is your day. I don't know what you think that is. It's something, it's hooved, probably deer. You definitely see all the tracks down in here. They all come down here and get some water. I mean, there could be bobcat, cougar. I don't know if there's mountain lions. Found a mushroom. Let's just start eating everything we find in the woods. What do you think about that?
No thanks. I'm not hungry.
Some of the trails are very clearly marked, like the main trails, but then you do something like this where you want to get around the backside of the pond that's not as well trafficked. But there is a trail here. It's just not as well marked. I don't know. Let's keep looking. I think we're on the backside here, though. We're looking for huckleberries. Let's play look for huckleberries. Does anybody even know what a huckleberry looks like? Maybe that would have been a good thing to know. Either the huckleberries are gone or we're supposed to go around the pond the other way. Maybe that's a huckleberry. Oh yeah, here. I think these are all huckleberry bushes here. It's just all the huckleberries are gone. That deer, I think that deer I saw ate them all.
Oh, really?
You guys let us know in the comments. I think that's a huckleberry. So we found one.
We're definitely not going to eat something we do not know, though, so.
See that one? That looks a little more ripe, doesn't it?
I wish I could eat it.
I didn't eat one. Is it all over my face? I think we found huckleberries at least.
Yay! Awesome. I want
Good job, buddy. Well, no, I didn't say we're gonna eat it. Look, Kinsley. I think that's pretty fresh too. That's probably that deer we just saw. Wow. There it is. Look at that. That's pretty, isn't it? Oh yeah, you can feel it. Can you guys feel it? How it gets cooler over here? Like the waterfall? You like it? Yeah?
I can feel it.
Alright, come on guys, you wanna go see what we got in the lodge? This place blew up since we got here this morning. So there's so much going on in this area right now. You got people just sitting here looking at the mountain range. You've got people grabbing lunch. You've got bike riding, kayaks, paddle boards.
You can rent pontoons. What are the
I couldn't think of it either. Paddle boats?
paddle boats?
Paddle boats, yeah, nobody's touching the paddle boats yet.
Too much work.
Poor paddle boats. Everything else looks rented just about. You got people just on the beach hanging out, doing a beach day. You got people hiking. You got a lodge that's a nicer place to eat.
How you play?
Lunch is served.
Should've got extra baskets, huh?
Oh wow, buddy.
I got chocolate.
You did. That looks good. Yeah?
Butter coming right up.
Peanut butter. Oh yeah. Thank you, Hensley. Usually do chocolate. Mixing it up here.
The mystery.
Did you do chocolate?
I did,
Wow, this is weird. Like I did non-chocolate.
Look.
but it's peanut butter infused. What do you think about it?
It's, I don't know. Can't taste the peanut butter a whole lot, but it's there. What'd you get, Hensley? What is that?
It's a mystery.
It's blue goo.
Blue goo.
Blue goo.
Why did you go blue goo? What do you make more of the more that you take?
What is it? What's the answer to the riddle?
Footsteps. Why?
JJ, what are you eating over there?
What?
What are you eating?
Chocolate ice cream.
Is there anything else that's like really popular, or did I cover my bases there?
If you're into chocolate, we have the chocolate cream filled bun.
Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that.
Oh yeah. You two got cinnamon rolls?
So this is a cream-filled chocolate, the pecan sticky bun, and a raspberry scone.
Look at this. Wow. It's good. How's yours, Hensley? Look at all the layers.
It looks really good.
It is. Everything at Stanley is like really close to if you're here. It's like 15,
not
20.
a large town. It's really got a small town vibe.
So back there's Mountain Village. It's right in town. And I think they've only got 6 or 8 spots. I don't know how much they are, but they have, you get hookups and nothing blocking the view of the mountains, it doesn't look like.
And a private hot spring. So Idaho has more hot springs than any state in the U.S. They have like 300 of them, about 130 of them that you can actually get in. I told Nathan, I was like, this place is all about hiking, fishing, rafting, biking, and hot springing. So we're at Sunbeam Hot Springs. It's a little steep to get down here.
So these are like adjustable hot springs. So it's coming out of these pipes off the mountain. I'd say this temperature is, you probably won't live. In that one, that has got to be scalding. And so you can move these pipes around. How hot is that one?
It's pretty warm.
Which means scalding hot. That's what that means. But yeah, so you can move the pipes around and sort of determine how hot you want your hot tub to be. You guys gonna get in or just gonna look at it? All right, get in. Just touch it with your foot before you jump right in. Yeah, don't just jump right in like Lindsay did in Mexico.
Another tip, test the water in a hot springs before you jump in. The sulfur.
Look at this view.
I wish I was a cow. Or one of those horses. Maybe a horse. Horses don't get to eat.
Makes you wonder, there's so much open land here around Stanley, and I understand that the winters are not ideal, but I don't know if the city owns it or individuals own it or what, but there are some awesome views here that nobody has houses on, and it's just wide open land. Now, the few people that do have houses, there's some sweet houses with some sweet views. How's it feel, Hensley? Cold? It looks like somebody left a rake up here. You want a rake? And a shoe? I don't know. Something.
Play toys.
Yeah, play toys are in session. So I got a new gadget to show you guys. Honestly, we've wanted for years, but I was waiting for the price to come down because they started it out of like $1,500, then $1,000, then $800. Now, whether this is a good idea or not, I don't know. I found one refurbished for like, I don't know, $550, $600, something like that. Here it is. Our hope I didn't break it. Our Oru folding kayak. This is the lake edition. Who has two thumbs and buys refurbished folding kayaks? This guy. Now, why do we buy our folding kayak? We already had two inflatable stand-up boards. Well, number one, the boards just wore me out, especially pumping two of them. I bought an electric pump. It died after 2 uses, so I got mad at it, and then I bought a new foot pump. Honestly, maybe I'm just a sissy, but it would just wear me out pumping up two of those. So we still got one of the stand-up boards. You probably saw it in the truck. We got this number two. It takes up slightly less real estate than the stand-up board. I'm not gonna say significantly less real estate, so I wouldn't buy it for that, but it does take up less real estate. Foil number three, this is definitely lighter. It's like big 2/3 of the weight of our stand-up board, but probably the main reason is what you're about to see. How fast and easy this thing is to set up and take down. Time. And I even like set it up the wrong way to start with. There's tons of history and stories when it comes to Stanley. One of my favorites I heard was a guy named Weldon Hayburn, who was a United States Senator from 1903 to 1912. And as a senator, he was totally opposed to making things like national forests and recreation areas and things like that. And so after he was out of office and they made this 756,000 area recreation area with national forests, and they were naming some of the peaks, they, as sort of a spite to him, they actually named probably the most popular peak here after him, Mount Hayburn, which Mount Hayburn is right there, I believe.
Stanley Lake has always been on my bucket list because my dad's name was Stanley, and my dad passed away at 52 from cancer, and it was like he never got these experiences, and he loved to travel, and I think that's where I got that from. And so I've always wanted to go to Stanley because that was his name, and it's just super special to me. So here we are in Stanley, Idaho, in Stanley Lake, when Stanley was part of our motivation for this. It's cool that you get to carry those loved ones with you that aren't here. Isn't that right, Hensley? Yeah.
I never got to meet him.
I know. It makes me so sad, but you are a part of him. You know that? So am I.
All right, kayak did well. Other than, pro tip, one of the things we wondered when we bought the folding kayak was, can we put our kids in it? Well, I don't think we'd ever be able to put both kids in it, and we didn't expect to, but we can put one kid in it. However, I can tell you, do not put your kid in the back because that weight pushes down and water comes in. So we learned that pretty close to the shore, had to turn around and come back. Now, we talked to a local who loved to travel the world, and they met someone while they're in Italy. I cannot remember the city it was. Salina? Saluda? I don't know. But it's somewhere in Italy that's known to have the most beautiful beaches in the world. And then that person ended up coming back with them to the United States. And they're from, you know, the locals are from this area. And they brought him into Stanley, but they drove him around Stanley, and then they stopped and they went to an overlook of the mountains. I think they went to the top of one of these passes and then looked. And they said they cried. They cried when they saw it. They were so emotionally touched. And then they took him to a restaurant, and they said the whole time they're sitting at the restaurant, because they could like look out the back and see the Sawtooth Mountains and the fields, and they're like, is that real? And then they're like, yeah, that's real, that's real. And they're like, is that real? Like, I think they're just looking out the windows, and it almost looked like it was all fake.
It's one of our favorite parts of the RV lifestyle is connecting with others. And so we have our third huddle coming up in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, November 12th through the 15th.
And once we announce the 60 spots we have for that, it sold out in like a week. But the good news for you is, since that time, we've had about 7 spots open up.
And we're so excited to see new faces, see faces we've met before, and you may even see some faces you recognize. So if you would love to grab one of those tickets, head over to teamjourneyhuddle.com.
That was the roller coaster. Yes, and it's called Terror Range.
Oh, that's Terror Range?
Yeah, it says Terror Range.
Oh, that's your sign?
Yeah. It's roller coaster. This is for our first one called Terror Range. That's the water park.
So we've come out here pretty much every night. It's not much more relaxing than this, though. Good job. So this campground is next to the river, but honestly, like 90% of the campgrounds we've seen are next to the river. Like, if you want an experience like this, we walk along the river in Stanley, it is definitely out there. Things looking kind of lumpy out here. What is that? What is that? What is that? Look at these clouds today. One of the things I love about the mountains is just how much they change. And they change fast. Like those clouds were all around the top like 30 seconds ago before I walked around the RV. Ah, it's so beautiful though. So this is the Stanley Museum. It's just a quick stop. Again, everything here is like within 15 minutes of everything else. But it's pretty neat to check out the history of Stanley. Let's go.
Scavenger hunts for the little ones if they'd like to do that.
Yeah. You guys want to do that?
Sure.
They get twice as much snow here as the rest of Idaho, but yeah, more than twice. Give the kids a scavenger hunt when they come in. So you gotta find all these things to get the sticker. Look at this toaster, Hensley. It only toasts one side at a time. Now we can toast 2 to 4 pieces, both sides at a time. That's how they iron stuff?
Yeah, it's like a heated roller. It would iron sheets and stuff. I don't know. I don't iron anything.
So this building, and I believe maybe all 3 of these buildings, but this is a ranger station. And then they've still got, you know, I think this is maybe like the main building they were in. And then this building over here, we've got the tool shed and the ice house. Make no mistake, this place is way different in the winter. Thus the population of 116 people.
Welcome to the refrigerator.
Welcome to the refrigerator.
I love there.
Does it feel cold in here?
Yeah. Feel how cool?
It does, doesn't it?
And this isn't even with like ice in it.
No.
Like you would feel it with ice. So Stanley is often the coldest spot in the lower 48, with temperatures in the winter reaching 30 to 40 degrees below zero for a week at a time.
Oh my goodness.
Well, yeah, I guess they got plenty of ice to keep things cold, huh?
Look how thick this door is.
Yeah. 32-inch wide space between the double walls and ceiling was filled with about 18,000 pounds of sawdust.
Oh.
So it has sawdust insulation.
32 inches of sawdust?
Yeah,
Is
do you
that
see
the
how
insulation?
thick?
Yeah. Wow.
Right.
This is still holding cool in here. They want me to close the door, I guess, for people to feel how cool it is when they walk in. Yeah, it's really fascinating. Like, 2/3 of these tools and 2/3 of things, I have no clue what this stuff does. One of it's because stuff is older, but then also, this is just the kind of environment we're not used to living in. So the stuff they're using, not the same stuff we use on a daily basis. Field telephones. Batteries powered by a hand crank. 20 to 50 mile range. Wow. Somebody needs to tell me what this thing is. Who knows what that is? That?
Is it fan of flame?
I don't know. What do you think it is? I don't see anything that tells me what that is. It's in the blacksmith area, so if somebody can tell me what that is, go for it. Now, the town of Stanley was named after John Stanley, who was the oldest member of the prospecting party to first enter what was called the Stanley Basin in 1863. 3.5 minutes on the Oru. See how long this takes. Done. 7 minutes. And way more effort. So this is Little Redfish Lake. We've heard some great things about this lake. It's not nearly as crowded as Redfish, which is down the road.
It's just like a pull-off on the side of the road here. If you didn't know, you'd miss it. And honestly, this view is so incredible. Our friend's finding our someday. I talked to Jessie on the phone yesterday and she's like, don't miss Little Redfish because the views are incredible and there's a lot of solitude there. And I would have to agree with her. Wow. I've seen this done a couple times too. I think this is a really cool hack on a paddleboard. So they have inflatable paddleboards, but they're putting like their like sun chairs on it.
They're fascinated by our folding kayak. I'm very fascinated by this lawn chair inflatable. Look at that, oh my goodness. Maybe that's the way to do the inflatable boards. I would say speed-wise, I mean, I'm probably a third faster in the kayak than I am on the stand-up board. And unless you use that chair hack, like, man, he's flying. Look at that. Hey, this is gorgeous.
Yeah, this one's high-five each other. Yeah.
Now, I really gotta crop in with a GoPro, but if you look over here, you can see campers on the water. Like where we're at and what we're doing, you can walk out of your camper, hop in a whatever flotation device you want to have and just go for it. Those are very hard to get.
Are they first come, first serve too?
Probably a combination of first come, first serve and reservation. That's the way it seems like most stuff. Seems like about a third is reservation and 2/3 is first come, first serve.
I got told you, Betsy.
We get the question a lot about why do you travel when your kids are small and they probably won't remember. But there's a lot that Hensley remembers. And there is some, you know, we started when she was 1 and JJ's always done this. So yeah, absolutely. They're not going to remember every single memory. I saw this quote that like said it so well, but it's like, you know, just because your kids won't remember you reading them a book doesn't mean you don't read them books when they're little. Like they're learning, they're growing. Nothing is ever wasted. Cause yeah, I mean, will they remember this kayak? Maybe, maybe not, but I will take in these memories. And you know, there's so much that you do remember on your travels. Honestly, Hensley reminds me of more than I remember. She's like, remember when we did this? And I'm like, I have to go watch the video.
Is this pepperoni?
Yeah, we gotta let it cool down though, okay? It's pretty hot. It's good. You nailed it.
Nailed it?
Good job on order. A+. Is it good, buddy? Mm-hmm. Just talked to our second local. So they consider this, they've traveled all over the world and said this is the most beautiful place they've ever been. They're from Boise.
They said they ran into a guy that shoots for National Geographic.
Who also traveled the whole world. They ran into him, I think, in Colorado or something.
And they said, what's your favorite place? And he said, Stanley, Idaho.
Okay, the day has come. It's time to get this beast out of here.
Oh, man.
It's not that I don't think we won't physically fit. It's that I just don't know what the aftermath of that will be. Now, we've been boondocking here 7 nights, and it's been a while since we've done that, but we did it all on just our built-in tanks. We didn't go get extra water or have to go dump or anything like that, so everything gets built in. I'll put the specs on the screen. Like, that's what we stayed here a full week on with a family of 4. I'm not gonna say we took showers every single day, but at the same time, it's dry out here. It's not super nasty, and we do feel like clean enough. And as far as Sunny Gulch, it's $22 a night to stay here. Every site, very spacious sites. Camp host was awesome. To me, it's worth $22. Now, if we had to get a double, you know, the safety aspect, and it's been raining the last 2 days. So like having this pad, you know, that's a big deal when you're doing dispersed camping. If you're camped on dirt and it turns into mud, I don't know why I'm doing quotations, it's actual mud. Like, it gets nasty fast. Slow and steady. Here we go.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready for some hookups.
The kids are chanting hookups.
Hookups. Are y'all ready?
Yeah!
Take every turn super wide. Low and steady. First turn. This will probably tell me a lot about how this is gonna go. It's not hitting terrible. If you see the RVs, we're probably a good 10 feet longer than everybody else in here. Then the grand finale down here at the end.
I've been worrying about this
I have.
all week.
I debated backing out of the campground. I looked at it. I drove, every time we came back from excursion, I drove this route with a truck pretending the fifth wheel was behind me.
You've done your homework and
I've done my homework.
You're good.
Oh, that looks really tight there. This is the grand finale here. How's that looking over there? I can't get over anymore. How bad's it gonna hit, babe? I can't see
I
it.
mean, it is what it is. You're rubbing the tree. You're good now.
All right. I'll get everything as tight as I can.
How's it feel to have that done?
That feels good.
You've talked about it all week.
I've been sitting for a whole week thinking about that. So if you like Stanley and the small town feel, and maybe like the idea of hearing about a city you haven't heard much about, another city we love that doesn't get a ton of press, it's called Ouray in Colorado. I'm gonna link to a playlist of 2 videos. One is us driving $1 Million Highway with our rig. You thought that was intense.
And the other video is when we hiked the perimeter trail around Ouray, which is so cool. They call it Little Switzerland there, and it is just breathtaking.
Well, that's our journey for this week. Until next week.
Catch you guys later.